Hi besties, if you're new to my channel, my name is Dajah Nicole. On my channel I do bookish videos, fashion. Well, I did fashion, I might do more fashion on my channel. I do bookish, fashion, lifestyle, vlogs, routine type videos. So if you like any of those type videos or you like today's video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you have any video ideas, please let me know down in the comments. But let's just get into my October wrap up and my November TBR. So I read a total of 4 books in November. If you don't know, I do work. I work a 9 to 5 job. It is called 9 to 5 because you're working basically 8 hours a week. So 8 hours every day or every week. So that's like what, about 40 something hours a week. So I do work 8 hours a day. And I try to read at work, especially on my Kindle, because my Kindle is just very it's like very useful. I like to read on my breaks, going home from work, going to work. So that is something that I like doing. I don't have my license, but I'm actually starting driving school next week, besties. So I am so happy about that. And well, I got a big surprise for that, but you gotta wait around what I got for Christmas for that video because I got it early. But if you want to guess what this item is, you can let me know down in the comments. But let's just get into today's videos. So like I said, I read 4 books, 2 on my physical TBR and 2 on my Kindle. I call this my physical TBR because it is a physical book, and in my Kindle TBR because it's on my Kindle. So yeah, or digital TBR. It's like, I don't know. But the first book that I read was Powerless. So I gave this book a 4-star rating on Goodreads. I almost gave it a 3 stars just because I almost DNF'd this book. So with me, I want to finish a book even if I don't like it, and I will still give my honest opinion. But there has been some books that I almost did not want to completely finish, and I have heard mixed feelings and mixed opinions about this book all over TikTok. And I actually came across this book on TikTok because I think I follow the author Laurie on TikTok. But I like the middle of the book, but I just didn't like how it started nor how it ended. I should have given this book a 3 stars if I want to be like completely honest, but I didn't. I gave it a 4 stars just to be nice. And I also like how it kind of just got my attention in the middle of the book, but just wrapping it up, I wanted to finish it right away because I just didn't like how it kind of felt like everything was like sped through around the end because it was like shorter chapters around the end. So yeah, but I gave Powerless by Laurie a 4-star rating on Goodreads. But if I had to use my personal rating scale, I would have gave this book a 3.7 stars. So yeah, so I have not had my coffee yet. I need to brew my coffee, so I'm creating like content before I go to work. I'm leaving to go to the UPS store to do some Amazon returns, and I like created a Princess and the Frog costume, and I bought everything off of Amazon for work last week for Halloween. So I will put that picture like here, but I gotta do that around 10 and then I have to be at work around 11:30. So yeah, and I'm gonna make some coffee. So that's that. But the next book that I read in October is The 7-Year Slip, and I love this book. It really caught my attention. I gave this book a 5-star rating on Goodreads. I just could not put it down. I would say yes because I am working. It does take me a while to finish a book, but once I got the time to read, or if I didn't feel tired after work to read, I couldn't put down this book. I really loved it, and I actually cried a little right while reading this book. It's very good. A lot of people recommend this book. A lot of people are reading this book now. A lot of people read this book in the beginning of the year. A lot of people read this book in the summer. But it is a very good book, and I do recommend reading this book. I might actually read another book by this author, but I came across this book because of TikTok and also BookTube, so BookTok and BookTube. So it is called The 7 Year Slip, and I got this book back in I think July when I went. No, I bought this book in August or September when I decided to buy a new book, and I picked this book off of Amazon. So yeah. So I'm actually not disappointed with this book. I actually love this book, and I want to read more books by this author. But yeah, like I said, I don't know if I said this, but I have had no coffee. So I also don't want to be loud because everyone else is asleep. It's like right now it's 6:42. I just started my cycle, so yeah. But it is also early in the morning while doing this. So yeah, so I'm going to go to my Goodreads list to tell you the 2 books that I read on my Kindle. So the first book that I read and finished on my Kindle, which I actually started since June, but I just never really finished it because I don't think it took me a while when there was a point in time that I was broke and I didn't have enough money for Kindle Unlimited. So yeah, just being like very honest with you guys. And I'm lucky and I'm grateful that I do have a job. It's very stressful working. It's just very stressful when you have to be there at a certain time, a schedule. It's very stressful, and dealing with people. So what I do to try to lower down my stress at work is read and listen to music or listen to a podcast while reading, because it just really does help. But let's just get into the 2 books that I read on my Kindle. So the first book that I finished on my Kindle was A Bridesmaid for Hire. So like I said, I started this book back in June. So I think there was a point of my time that like this year that I was also just very worried with school that reading was not really my priority. And I, now reading is my priority even though I'm at work, but it helps me release my stress. But Bridesmaid for Hired is really actually a good book. I was very actually intrigued and surprised in the stuff that I read by just continuing reading that book. It's the book, it's like the title and the cover can really fool you, if you know what I mean. If you like, those type of covers and you be like, oh, this will be a nice book. Yeah, no, not until you continue reading the pages of the book. But I really loved the book. It was very, very like a good book, and I was gonna say something else, but it was such a good book that if you had nothing else to do, you can just like play like a podcast in the background or music or even lo-fi music and read it, and that was me. Or if you can't go to sleep, this will be a book that can actually help you stay up because the amount of goodness in it. So I rate that book a 5-star rating on Goodreads, and I will say on my personal scale it will still be a 5-star rating because that was a good damn book. Now the next book that I read in the month of October was called Puck Blocked. So I heard about this book on TikTok. I swear BookTok is where you can go if you want to find books that you never heard from, or books that's not from like popular authors, and books from like new authors and stuff. And that's why, as an aspiring author, I'm actually planning to make more content to get my book out there, and I'm so excited that I have another author on my podcast that I need to at some point find what day next week I'm off so we can record that episode. I feel like, I don't know, I just love book talk and like author talk and all that. But I found this book, Puck Blocked, on TikTok. It was on my For You page, and it was like a certain line. It was like a slideshow of certain lines from the book, and the caption was like, if you want a new spicy read, you should read this book. So everyone was like saying like what's the title of the book, because the title of the book was not like in the caption. Like, you know, on the slideshows on TikTok they have like a little title in the caption. It was not in that. So in the comments I was looking and someone said it's called Pug Block by it's called Pug Block by Kylie Kent. So the book is very spicy. I feel like with the main male character you can actually see him in everyday life. Like, you probably like met a guy like that, or dated a guy like that, or know a guy friend who's friends like that, or even you are a friend or were friends with a guy like that. Because, not trying to spoil the book, and I'm not trying to like be like have any spoilers in this, but the main guy character is he's an ass. He is like, he's a very charming, but he knows how to say things to get a girl hooked. That's what I got from it, because there was a part in the novel when I read it, I gasped and I said in my head, like, he did not just do that to her. He's literally playing with her heart. And I was like, why? And then I told myself there's guys like that. But it is a good book. It's very spicy. It's like, yeah, I feel like any romance that deals with sports, because this is a hockey romance, spicy romance, it's going to be spicy. I feel like any sports romance mostly will be spicy, and this is a hockey spicy romance. So I gave that book a 5-star rating, and I might actually read the other books because it's in the series, and I don't know how many books are in the series, but I know that's the 4th book in the series that is in, according to Goodreads, because it said like the series name and then number 4, so it's the 4th book in the series. And I will try to find the other author on, well, the other books of the author on Kindle, because that book is actually on Kindle Unlimited, so I'm so happy that I didn't have to buy it, and I was like, oh my gosh. But let's just get into what I'm going to read, or what I already started reading in the month of November. So I am planning to read 3 books on my physical TBR and then 3 books on my Kindle. So if y'all don't know, I am trying to read a lot this month. So in total I'm trying to read 6 books. So on my Kindle I can actually tell y'all that first, because I just feel like it's just easy to go through it. So I already started reading The Pumpkin Spice Cafe. It's still fall season, so I feel like I still want to get into my fall books. And The Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Gilmore, and then I also want to read You Again by Goldbeck. I know I said this, I was going to read those 2 books back in like September and then October, but I just never got into the books just because I've been so busy. So those 2 books I'm actually reading. I'm like 13% into The Pumpkin Spice Cafe, and so when I'm about 25% into the book today, I will read You Again. And I'm trying to read about 2 books at the same time for both Kindle and my physical TBR. And then I want to do like a bookish sleepover some point this weekend. Yes, I am on my cycle, and there has been days where I'm on my cycle that I don't sleep. So this will be very interesting, me recording a bookish sleepover while on my cycle. But I was supposed to do it last week. Now, the next book that I'm also going to read on my Kindle is called The Darkness That Follows. I was supposed to read this, I think, in August, but like I said, I've been so busy. So yeah, and that is by Lana Vargas. I actually had a podcast episode with her on my podcast a few months ago. I think last month I posted it, so I will have that episode in the description box down below. So I'm going to read that book. I probably would start both that book and also You Again. I think that's, yeah, You Again at the same time, so I can get like a good, like a good where I want to like be finished, like a good estimate date. I want to be finished with my physical TBR, which is also 3 books before Thanksgiving, and I want to finish these 3 books around Thanksgiving. So that is my goal. So those 3 books again is You Again by Kate Goldbeck, The Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Laurie Gilmore, and The Darkness That Follows Us by Lana Vargas. And I actually read so much books and faster on my Kindle because I take this damn thing with me everywhere I go. So yeah. Now on my physical TBR, I am going to read 3 books. I'm going to read Bride. I was supposed to read Bride by Ali Hazelwood last month. As you can see, I kind of have where I'm going to start. I have not started reading the book. I just have bookmarks because I like to track with me. I like to like put where the first chapter is, the second chapter, and then go back to like 10 or 11 chapters and put a bookmark there. So yeah, so that's why there's bookmarks. It helps me read faster and try to get through my TBR faster. But I'm going to read Bride by Ali Hazelwood. I got this back in July, and I have heard good ratings and good reviews about this book. And I also have heard okay ratings and okay reviews about this book. So when I do finish, if I get to this book, which I will let y'all know how this book is. So yeah, I still feel like, yes, it's more like a Halloween, but I still feel like it's still fall. It's a fall read, so that's why I'm going to read it this month. The next book, which I actually have started, is called The Love Elixir of Augusta. And so far, like I said, I have started, I think I'm on the 5th chapter. No, I'm on the 7th. So I have read 6 chapters so far in this book, and I'm liking it so far. It's very pretty interesting, but I'm really liking it. It's like a quick read because it's not thick, as you can see. I got this from Book of the Month. I think this was September or October Book of the Month. I had to see, I think it was September or October. But no, it was September because I do have October Book of the Month next to me, which I will show y'all in a few. But it's a quick read, I would say, in my opinion so far. Like, I'm already in chapter 7. I want to read more today after work and try to stay up until like, I don't know, 11ish, because I do go to work until like 11:30, so it gives me time. But this is how much it is, the thickness. But I'm liking it so far. So once I finish this book, y'all know my rating. But this is another book that I am reading this month currently. So yeah. And now the last book that I want to read that I got last month from Book of the Month is The Boyfriend by Freida McFadden. I have heard that she's a good author. I have heard that this book is so good, and I can't wait to read this. So basically it says, is he the man of your dreams or your worst nightmare? And to be honest, I'm so excited to read this book because I thought a guy that I was with was the man of my dreams, but he was my worst nightmare. And I wonder how she did that. Like, how did she kill her boyfriend? Because with the blood splattered on the tie, if you can like see, I feel like she like killed him, and I want to know because I want to like, something about me is, as an author, I want to do different genres when I write than sticking with one. Like, I'm doing romance right now, like a military romance. That's the genre, like enemies to lovers. Then I want to do a contemporary small town romance, which is like friends to lovers. And then I want to do a murder mystery, and there's a reason why I want to do a murder mystery. It's because I love watching murder mysteries. I have since I was younger, and thanks to my mom. And I just feel like it would be very different than romance in a whole nother aspect. So I want to be the type of author who writes different genres. I have a book idea for fantasy just up in my mind right now. I have a book idea for a murder mystery. Like, yeah, you know, she kills her boyfriend for a reason. Like, I literally took a shower one day like a few years ago, and I was like, if I read a book about how she caught her boyfriend cheating, this and that would be a good book. And she gets away, and I have a whole plot already for that murder like mystery, but it's not really a murder mystery. It's like a, I don't even know how, like, it's a murder mystery type book. her boyfriend for cheating, and she's going to get away with it. Like, that's what I think I want to write about, like when I do start writing that book. But this, I can't wait to read it. I heard good reviews on this book, so I'll let you know when I do read this. Hopefully by this weekend I will be finished with one book and I'll start this book. So yeah, so besties, that is it for today's video. I really do hope that you like this TBR and wrap up, the October wrap up and the November TBR. Tell me what books have you read that I mentioned in this video. If you have any recommendations of books that you want me to read, please let me know down in the comments. And if you had made it this far into the video, please post the stack of book emoji in the comments, and you can follow me on social media, which will be here on the screen somewhere, and also and always in the description box down below. And remember to always go after your goals no matter what. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye besties.